Many people do not remember or know that Zionism, to begin with, was an evangelical Christian project. Long before any Jew was thinking about Zionism, leading Christian, what we would call today Christian Zionists, in those days we would call them evangelical Christians of certain denominations, on both sides of the Atlantic, were advocating the establishment of a Jewish state, knowing very well that there were other people living there, but thought that the creation of a Jewish state would precipitate the second coming of the Messiah, would bring the end of time, and eventually, in the mid-19th century, convinced the most important empire in the Middle East, Britain, that this was not just a theological good idea, but also strategically, Britain should benefit if it will make Palestine first British and Jewish. And again, this deliberations about the future of Palestine in the mid-19th century were done where people knew very well that Palestinians were already there. Not only that they were already there, but that they had a thriving society, an urban elite, a pastoral rural society, an organic human body, that if you were talking about removing it or replacing it with a European Jewish state, you could only do it by force, and you could only lead to the demise of the people living there if this is your either religious idea or your strategic idea. It was towards the end of the First World War that these two impulses also influenced the Jewish communities, especially in Eastern Europe, that were suffering from anti-Semitism and were looking for ways of dealing with a world that did not accept them as equals. And they were convinced that maybe the best way of dealing with that kind of persecution was to build a Jewish state in Palestine. This was not a majority opinion of most of the Jews. It was a minority opinion. The religious Jews felt that this was contrary to the Jewish religion, a Jewish state before the end of time. Liberal Jews believed that the only way of dealing with anti-Semitism was to have a more liberal democratic world. Socialist Jews believed that the socialist revolution would make everyone equal. A small minority believed that you have to redefine Judaism as nationalism in order to solve the problem of anti-Semitism and also in order to modernize the Jewish people.